Hello, you Mayhem Makers. I'm Mindy with Quilting Mayhem, and I have a special guest today. We have Miss Donna, who is one of our employees, and we also call her Momma Mayhem. She happens to actually be my mom, and she does work here in the store a couple days a week. And she brought in her Villa Rosa blind date quilt today, and I wanted her to talk about it. And so that is what is hanging behind us here. But she did something a little different to it. So I kind of wanted her to speak to what she did and why she did it, because I feel there are many of you out there that maybe have this same problem where you have a quilt and it's just not quite fitting your feeling. And so what did you do to this lovely quilt?
This is a traditional rail fence. The 3/4 down, 3/4 cross, very traditional. This pattern is also called Limelight if you're interested in picking it up from downstairs. But I wanted to do something just a little special since it was so traditional. I kind of wanted something to pop. So I got some K fabric from our shop and I did raw edge applique. The flowers run diagonal from top to bottom, and the corners are covered with the fabric. And I thought that just added just enough pizzazz to make this a really outstanding quilt.
I feel like a flight attendant. And so over here and here we have flowers. So Gage, I'm going to have you come close in here. So when we're talking raw edge applique, what it means is these edges are not turned under. There is a fusible behind this. So which fusible did you use for that?
SF101.
Okay. So she's got a fusible behind that to stick it to the quilt, and then she just quilted over the top of it so that all these edges are down and secure, but they're not turned under. There's nothing special. It's what I kind of call a lick and stick method, because it's nothing fancy, but it's definitely secure enough. You don't have to worry. Like, you can wash this quilt. Those edges may get a little fuzzy, but that's definitely not coming off the quilt. So you can still use this as a lap size quilt, throw quilt, those kinds of things. Right. Love it as you would any other quilt, and not worry that, you know, someday those flowers are gonna come out in the dryer and you're like, what happened? So
and you can add in some extra color by using the different flowers. If you want to add some more color into your quilt, just bring in some flowers.
Yeah, so I thought this was really cool because while we have our Villa Rosa blind date, so those of you that are new, maybe don't know, we have these cute little packages. They have 6 fat quarters in there, and there's a mystery pattern, and then you put another 6 fat quarters in it to make the quilt. And most of the quilts are a throw size. They are fairly simple, but what's fun is they also tell you kind of a theme. So this says like flower basket and soft colors. This one says cool cats, bright and fun. We have a whole variety of them. And what happens is you make these quilts, you don't have to quilt it like she did. She's my overachiever mom. But you can just bring us the quilt top. We'll hang them in the shop for people to see. It's just kind of fun to see what people do, how they take that challenge of that 6 fat quarters that maybe wasn't their normal fabrics they use, how they add another 6 in there and make whatever they do. And she just, of course, went that extra mile. And I thought this was impressive that she just did what you said, a fun sew day with some friends.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, they came and helped her pick the flowers and do the quilt, and it does kind of give it that next level look with adding kind of that fun little accent. So maybe this is something you might do to your next project that you go, you know, it's kind of boring. And of course, you have been quilting for a long time, so this pattern, I know, she gave me that look like it's a rail fence. Like, a rail fence is a very traditional pattern that has been around since the dawn of quilting time. And so I understand that she's like, I want to, you know, kind of spice it up a little.
Let's just spice it up and have fun with it. That was the main idea. Let's just enjoy what we're doing with this quilt.
But I do like, you pulled those colors in, you kept the softness of the fabric in here. And of course you're a bird lover, so we've got some little birdies in there for you. So this is a very you quilt by adding that extra flair to it. So that's why I wanted to kind of talk about this, was how do you kind of take that traditional and maybe change it up, do something different. So this is a fun way, and raw edge applique is a very simple process, because this one is definitely where you put that fusible and she just cut around the flowers. She didn't have to trace a pattern or anything. She just followed the outline of the flowers and put them on there.
It was a lot of fun just placing flowers, and then let's move this one, let's move that one, and it was just a lot of fun.
And I like how you did the corners. You did kind of that bulked up corner here, and like we said, in that upper corner to give it some places to draw the eye, and you did that diagonal layout to also
And if you
travel.
don't like a particular spot, you just cut out the flower and stick it over that spot.
It is, yeah, when you do those challenge quilts and there's something you don't like, applique is a great way to hide those things. So I appreciate you sharing this technique and this quilt. Hopefully some of you are joining along in our Villa Rosa blind date. It is a lot of fun. How long do you think it took you to put this quilt together?
Not very long. I mean, it's a basic quilt.
Yeah.
I can't really.
Okay, day or two to cut it and piece it and all that, knowing you.
Yes, it didn't take long at all.
So maybe if you're doing a retreat, this is a great retreat quilt, a great weekend quilt. I even say it's like a palette cleanser type project. If you've been working on something hard, this is a good one to kind of do something easy, get your brain reset, those kinds of things. So you can always go to our website, quiltingmayhem.com. You can type the Villa Rosa blind date to see what we have going on, or you can come in the store and you can look through the kits that we have and see if there's one that maybe speaks to what you would want to do. So otherwise, I hope you are following us on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and YouTube, all under Quilting Mayhem, to get all the inspiration like these quilts and projects and any tutorials that we may have. We hope you have a lovely day and keep on stitching.